Hello, my name is Stephanie, and we're going to do another 30-minute flow. Just again, checking in with your bodies, connecting with that breath. So coming into that child's pose on your mat, practice of that forehead coming down to your mat. Nothing else matters. Taking in that deep inhale, filling up your bellies, not just your chest. And then sigh all of that breath out loud your mouth, letting go. Taking another deep inhale. And again, sigh that breath out loud your mouth. Locking down your throat, starting that Ujjayi breath, that deep inhale through your nose. And exhale through your nose. Finding your breath in the pattern of it. Locking down the rest of your bandhas, the pelvic floor. Drawing your floating rib cage upwards. And taking 2 more breaths here. Inhale. And exhale. Inhale. And exhale. On that next inhale, igniting through those palms, walking them back to your torso, curling up over those toes, bringing your seat to your feet, knees together. Just stretch out the bottom of your feet, taking those palms down to your mat. Inhale, rising up. And then exhale into your heart center, closing your eyes here, and just taking a moment to set your intention for your practice. Whatever brings you to your mat, keep that in mind. Listen, honor, and respecting your body. Taking your palms to your forehead is sealing your practice. And then back down to your heart center. On that next inhale, opening up those eyes, crawling back out into that tabletop, preparing for those cow cats, warming up your spine. On that next inhale, going into your cow, rounding out that stomach, taking that gaze up to the sky. And then on your exhale, come into your cat. So go with your breath to movement, not even my cues. 3 more cow cats, remembering you are not in a hurry. Inhaling into your cow, and you exhale into that cat. And when you're done with your last one, just simply come into that tabletop. Inhale. Just curl up over those toes. Come into that downward dog. Trying to get those heels melted to the mat. And then walking that dog out, bending that right knee, straightening that left leg, taking that left hip all the way to the back of the room. And then opposite side. And just taking another breath here. And on that next inhale, push all the way back into your downward dog. Inhale, walking those palms back toward your feet. Come into that rag doll. Again, crown of your head to the earth, hinging from your waist. Swing from side to side. On that next inhale, releasing, bringing that rag doll twist still, releasing those palms to your mat, crawling back out into your downward dog, and then fully push back into that downward dog. On that next inhale, just take that right foot to the top of your mat, coming into a low lunge. Again, if you need to, you drop down that left knee, stacking that right knee over that ankle, and then on that next inhale, we're going to rise up. And then exhale your palms into your heart center. Inhale. And then exhale, twist to that right side, lead with that right shoulder and elbow, and only go as far as your body will allow. Inhale. And exhale. 2 more breaths. One last deep inhale. And exhale. Inhale back into your heart center, releasing that left palm on the inside of that right foot. And then twisting, taking that right palm gaze up the sky. Inhale. And exhale. Inhale. And exhale. On that next inhale, reaching through those right fingertips, placing them on the inside of that right foot, and pushing back into your downward dog. Inhaling that left foot up to the top of your mat, coming into your low lunge. If you need, drop that back knee. Inhale, rising up. Reach through your fingertips. And then exhale. take those palms to your heart center. Inhale. And then exhale, twist from your waist, leading with that left shoulder and elbow going to that left side. And taking 2 more breaths here. Inhale. And exhale. One last deep inhale. And exhale. Inhale back into your heart center, releasing that right palm on the inside of that left foot. And then exhale, twist, left palm and gaze up to the sky. Fingers are spread wide, reach to those fingertips. 2 more breaths here. Inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. Inhale, reaching to those left fingertips, placing them on the inside of that left foot and pushing back into your downward dog. And just taking a breath here. Inhale and exhale. On your next inhale, let's tippy toe to the top of your mat. Bringing your feet hip width apart. Taking those peace fingers, wrapping them around your big toe. You inhale to that half lift, lengthen through your spine, and then exhale, taking those elbows out to side, coming to your forward fold. Again, bend your knees if you need. Come into that pose. Padagustasana or gorilla pose. And take 2 more breaths here. Inhale and exhale. One last deep inhale and exhale. Inhale, releasing those peace fingers from your toes. Placing those palms, coming into a half lift and exhale. Inhale, let's lift up those toes and find the 3 points of contact of your feet in that mat. The big toe mound, heel toe mound, and the pinky toe mound. And then on those next inhales, we're going to lower our toes down to that mat. Heel toe your feet together and find your foundation. Maybe your toes are touching, maybe your heels are slightly apart. You have to do what feels good to your body. On that next inhale, coming into a half lift, so all that weight's going into your toes. You lengthen through your spine, and then exhale, forward fold. And just hang here for a couple of breaths. If you want to come into your forward fold a little bit more, you can release your palms behind your legs, drawing yourself in. And just take 2 more breaths. Inhale and exhale. One last deep inhale and exhale. Inhale, releasing. Placing those palms back to your mat. That next inhale, step that right foot back, followed by your left, coming into a high plank. Stack your shoulders over your wrists. Always drop down to your knees if you need. And just take 2 more breaths here. Inhale and exhale. One last deep inhale and exhale. On that next inhale, keeping those elbows in at your side, we try to lower yourself down to the mat. Try to get your chin there first. Untucking those toes last. Baby Cobra. Inhale, rise, not pushing into those palms. Roll your shoulders back, taking that gaze up the sky. Exhale with your breath back down to your mat. Inhale, rise, Baby Cobra. Exhale, back down to your mat. One more time, inhale, rise to that Baby Cobra. And then exhale back down to your mat. Next inhale, you're going to come into that full Cobra, rounding out your spine. Get those shoulders away from your ears. And then exhale. Lower yourself back down to that mat. Inhale to a full Cobra, your upward facing dog. And then exhale into your downward facing dog, rolling over those toes. And push back into your downward dog. And just take a breath here. Inhale. And exhale. On that next inhale, let's take that right foot forward, warrior one. Aligning those heels, finding your warrior one, coming all the way up. One last deep inhale. Exhale, warrior two. Reverse warrior, inhale. Exhale into that warrior two, preparing for your extended side angle. Inhale, reach and lengthen. And then exhale, come into your extended side angle. And taking 2 more breaths here. Inhale and exhale. One last deep inhale and exhale. On that next inhale, gaze down to your mat, flipping that right palm, coming back into that reverse warrior. Exhale into your warrior two. Inhale, Trikonasana, straighten that front leg, lift up your toes, maybe put a bend if you have a bum knee. Reach and lengthen, and on that exhale, Come into your triangle pose, your Trikonasana. Remember the inside, the awareness is the inside. Keep those hips stacked over one another. Pinky toe mound line is grounded into your mat. 2 more breaths. Inhale and exhale. 1 last deep inhale and exhale. Inhale that gaze down to your mat. That variation of reverse warrior coming all the way back. And then exhale, come back into that warrior 2. Straightening that front leg. Drawing those shoulder blades together. And take 1 last deep inhale. And exhale. We're going to inhale. Cartwheel your palms down to that mat. You're going to frame that right foot. Come up off that back knee or foot. And then drop that left knee down. Untuck those toes. Inhale. And then exhale slowly. Push back, extending through that front leg. So stopping your body tells you to stop. You don't have to have that leg all the way extended. Your eyesight's at your toes. And maybe forward fold over that front leg. Inhale. And exhale. This is enough for you here. Please stay here. If you have splits in your practice, you can slowly come back up. And lengthen out that front leg. Come into your splits. All the way down. If you're in your full splits, maybe we could try taking those palms up to the sky. And then exhale, forward fold, slowly. If you're still just in that stretch, you still keep that breath, not letting your mind wander. You're in that forward fold, coming all the way back. Inhale, rising, coming out of your splits mindfully, not throwing your body around. How you get into pose, how we get out of it, pushing through those palms. Coming back onto that left knee. Sliding that right leg. And then coming back into that forward fold. And taking 1 last deep inhale here. And exhale. We inhale, rise up. Rocking back onto that right foot. Taking those palms on the inside. Curling up over those left toes. Coming up off that left knee. And then push back into your downward dog. Let's take 2 breaths here. Inhale. And exhale. 1 last deep inhale. And exhale. On that next inhale, left foot forward. Warrior 1. Take that left foot up to the mat. Those heels are aligned. Coming up and feeling your alignment of that warrior 1. And taking in 1 last deep inhale. And then on that exhale, come into your warrior 2. Squeeze those shoulder blades. You are not in a hurry. Inhale, reverse warrior. Exhale, back into that warrior 2. Inhale, extended side angle, reach and lengthen. Again, that back pinky toe mound line, palms up to the sky with your gaze. Maybe to the top of your mat. 2 more breaths. Inhale. And exhale. 1 last deep inhale. And exhale. Inhale, reverse warrior. Taking that gaze down to your mat. Flip that left palm. Come all the way back into your reverse warrior. And exhale back into your warrior 2. Triangle, Trikonasana. Inhale, straighten that front leg. Lift up those toes. Reach and lengthen and hinging from your waist. Pinky toe mound line. Keep that inside your foundation together. Taking 2 more breaths here. Inhale. And exhale. 1 last deep inhale. And exhale. On your next inhale, gaze down to your mat, flipping that left palm, come back into that variation of reverse warrior. And then exhale back into your warrior 2. And then on that next inhale, we're going to take that right palm to the top of our mat, coming down, framing that foot, coming out the angle of that back foot, dropping down that right knee, untucking those toes. Inhale. And then on that exhale, slowly take your hips to the back of the mat, coming up onto that left heel. And again, you stop. So if you feel that here, go no further. I remind you, your poses are to be yours, not mine. Gaze is at your toes. And even if you have full splits in your practice, not ripping your body around, stay here for 2 more breaths before coming into your full splits. Inhale and exhale. Inhale. And exhale. You have that full splits. If not, stay right here. Come into your full splits, scooting out that front leg. And again, when you come into your full splits, you're new, and you can always stay right here. You never know what you're capable of unless you try. So coming into that split, you want that weight evenly distributed. You're not going all the way onto that left side or the right. You want to evenly distribute that weight. Maybe inhale, rising through your fingertips. And then exhale, forward fold. Gazes at your toes. Inhale. And exhale. One last deep inhale here in your full splits. And exhale. Inhale slowly, coming mindfully back up. Pushing through those palms, drawing that right knee back under, sliding that left, and come back into that forward fold. 2 more breaths here. Inhale and exhale. One last deep inhale and exhale. Inhale, mindfully rock back up onto the 3 points of contact, that front knee, the foot. Placing those palms on the inside, curl up over those right toes, come up off that right knee, and take that left leg back, fully coming back into your downward dog. And fully push back into that downward dog. And just take 2 more breaths here. Inhale and exhale. One last deep inhale and exhale. On your next inhale, just drop down to those knees. We're going to come into a frog. You take in my class, I will always add a malasana or a frog in or something, always trying to keep those hips open. So toes touching, knees out the side, turn sideways on your mat if you need. Taking your knees out. And your seat is not by your feet. We're up here, releasing those toes out to the side. So maybe you stay right here, or you come down to those forearms, down to your mat. And we're still on that date with ourselves, so not letting that mind wander just because we're not moving around. We're still taking those breaths. Inhale. And exhale. Inhale. And exhale. Just find the rhythm and the pattern of your breath. I want to take 5 more here, and you have this. Inhale. And exhale. Inhale. And exhale. Inhale. And exhale. 2 more breaths. Inhale. And exhale. That last breath, take inhale. And exhale. On that next inhale, mindfully coming out of that frog, you know what you're doing. We're going to counter pose that, pushing back up into that tabletop, not putting pressure on your knees when you come out of it. Finding yourself back into that tabletop, counter posing what we just did. Taking that right knee out to the side, flex that foot, and then draw those circles with that knee. 3 on each side. So when you're finished that 3 on your right, taking that left out to the side, flexing through your foot and drawing those huge circles with those knees. Back down to your mat. On your next inhale, walking those palms back towards your torso, taking those feet out to your right side and finding that seat on your mat. Taking those feet all the way out in front of you and flex through your feet. So now as we're sitting here, make sure we're not dumping into our bodies. Where's that core, those bonds we talk about? So on your next inhale, taking that right palm, hinging from your waist, grabbing that left foot, rising up, and then exhale, twist, taking that left palm and gaze behind you. Inhale, and exhale. Inhale, and exhale. One last breath, and exhale. Inhale, take your head, your gaze back into center first, releasing that twist, and taking that left foot back down to your mat. On that next inhale, you're going to hinge from your waist, taking that left palm to that right foot, rising up. And then exhale, twist from your waist, taking that right palm and gaze behind you, reach through those fingertips. Inhale. and exhale. Inhale and exhale. One last deep inhale and exhale. Inhale your head, your gaze back in your center. Releasing that right foot back down to your mat, coming all the way back up. We're going to inhale, just come into a boat. So you can have your knees here, you can have your palms under your knees. Don't let your arms do those work. You have that core lengthen through your spine. Taking your feet. Inhale. You stay here, or maybe on that exhale, twist to that left side. Reaching. Inhale back into your heart center. And then exhale, twist to that right side. Reaching for those fingertips. Inhale back into your heart center. Exhale, twist. Inhale back into your heart center. Exhale, twisting over to that right side. Inhale back into your heart center. One more time on each side. On that exhale, twisting and flowing with your breath. Inhale back into your heart center. And then exhale, twist to that right. Inhale back into your heart center. Take one more breath here. You have this. Inhale and exhale. Inhale. Take those feet as close to your torso as you possibly can. Rounding out the spine, getting that forehead to your knees, wrapping your arms around your legs. And just take 2 breaths here. Inhale and exhale. One last deep inhale and exhale. Inhale slowly coming out of your ball. Feet onto your mat. Lower yourself down to that mat. So you can lower you down with your hands out to the side. You can always use your palms to plop down to the mat because you've already asked a lot of your body. Inhale those knees into your chest. Flex your feet. Wrap your arms around your legs. And another breath here. Inhale and exhale. On that next inhale, release that left foot down to your mat. Taking that right ankle and placing it over that left knee. And making a figure 4, rising that left foot up, flexing through your feet. Clasp your palms behind that left knee. You feel that here, you go no further. Maybe on an exhale, draw that knee into your chest. And your body will tell you when to stop. Still taking those breaths. Inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. 3 more breaths. Inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. One last deep inhale and exhale. Inhale slowly. Releasing the clasp behind that left knee, taking that right ankle off that left knee. Draw both knees into your chest. Flexing through your feet. And taking 2 more breaths here. Inhale and exhale. One last deep inhale and exhale. On that next inhale, you're going to release that right foot down to your mat. Taking that left ankle and clasping it over that right knee. Taking that right leg up into that tabletop. Clasping your palms behind that right knee. You stay here. Or maybe exhale, you draw that knee into your chest. Inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. 3 more breaths. Inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. Take one last breath here and exhale. Let's inhale slowly. Releasing the clasp behind that right knee, taking that left ankle off, drawing both knees into your chest, flex to your feet, wrap your arms around your legs, create that ball of energy. And just take 2 breaths here. Inhale and exhale. One last deep inhale and exhale. On your next inhale, we're going to release those legs out to that tabletop. Your palms are out to the side. Exhale, take those knees over to that left side. That right shoulder blade stays in your mat. So don't take your knees all the way down the mat. You never want to feel pain. You find your supine twist. Maybe close your eyes here as you take your gaze over to your right. Inhale and exhale. Still staying with your breath. And take 2 more here. Inhale and exhale. Inhale And exhale. Inhale, take your head, your gaze back into your center first, protecting that spine, drawing those knees back into your chest, flexing your feet, wrapping your arms around your legs. Inhale, point those toes all the way out like you're pushing on a gas pedal, plantar flexion, and then exhale back up, dorsiflexion, the opposite way. Inhale, point those toes all the way up. Exhale, back up. Inhale, one more time, point your toes all the way up. And exhale, back up. Inhale, releasing those knees back into that tabletop, palms out the side, facing up. On the exhale, take those knees over to that right side, not allowing that left shoulder blade to come up. And then maybe close your eyes here as you take your gaze over to your left, still maintaining that breath. Just take 3 more breaths here. Inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. One last deep inhale and exhale. Inhale, take your head, your gaze back in that center first, protect that spine, knees to chest, wrap your arms around your legs, flexing through your feet. And just take 2 breaths here. Inhale and exhale. One last deep inhale and exhale. Drawing circles with your toes, take them all the way around and out, pointing. And you're not in a hurry. Take those toes back up to the sky and going around one more time, drawing a circle with your toes, pointing them all the way around and out, and then back up. When your toes reach the sky, take your circles back the opposite direction, all the way around. And back up. One more time around. And back up to the sky. Finishing our practice with the happy babies, or releasing those feet up to the sky. So if this is all you have to give, that's all you do. Maybe you can grab on the outsides of the inside. If that's not available, grab your ankles. Maybe you can try to get each knee on either side of your torso. Again, not forcing anything. It's happy baby, not forced. So maybe stay here, sway from side to side if that feels good to your spine. And we're still maintaining that breath because this is still on that date. We're still connecting. And taking 3 more breaths here. Inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. One last deep inhale and exhale. Bringing that happy baby to a still. And that next inhale, draw those knees back into your chest, flexing through your feet. Wrap your arms around your legs, creating that ball of energy. On that next inhale, reaching, lengthen, extending. That starfish hovering over your mat. And then exhale back into your ball of energy, forehead to your knees. Wrap your arms around your legs, flex through your feet. Inhale all the way out, reach and lengthen. And then exhale back into your ball. One more time, inhale all the way out, reach and lengthen. And then exhale back into your ball. Inhale all the way out, reach and lengthen. And then exhale, slowly melt into your mat. You can always stay here, maybe come into a fetal position on either side. Drawing your knees into your chest, using your opposite arm as a pillow. Stay there, meeting at the top of your mat. As we all know, I like to read a positive quote or say something positive at the end of class. So let's take our palms to our heart center. Be strong when you are weak, brave when you are scared, and humble when you are victorious. The light in me honors and recognizes the light side of you, and I humbly appreciate you letting me guide you in your practice. Namaste.